What do you think of all of this whole concept with Extinction Rebellion? And
do you know, Nana, I hate very few things in life, but one thing I find repellent and I loathe is their behaviour. Not them specifically as individuals, but their behaviour. I would wish that a security guard literally just pulled them apart, and if they lose a bit of skin, they lose a bit of skin. There's a video in France of a traffic cop calmly going up to protesters who glued their hands on the auto route and quite literally just peeling their hands off the tarmac. And it's so satisfying to watch.
I shouldn't laugh. I really shouldn't.
No, but you should laugh. It's honestly, it's like scratching an itch. It's so satisfying to watch. So I wish the security had pulled them apart. And what I loathe about them are their tactics, because not today, but generally speaking, they disrupt the lives of everyday people. And one of those fellas let his guard down because what it is, it's a Marxist cult. You may remember in the early 90s, the Branch Davidian cult, Waco, Texas. And it's like they have this messiah, which is probably Greta Thunberg, and they are so brainwashed into this that they just don't know. They're out of touch. They're not reading the room. They are out of touch. Give us a People's Assembly because we will vote you out, pal.
Christine, do you think the People's Assembly will give them an idea of what we're actually thinking?
Well, I mean, what the hell does that mustachioed idiot think Parliament is? It is a citizens' People's Assembly. I mean, you know, we have divided the country into 650-odd patches. Everybody can vote over the right age, and we send people to Parliament. It is a citizens' assembly. It doesn't happen to agree with them. They want groups of people in the citizens' assembly who agree with them. That's what it's all about. They don't want a citizens' assembly. I quite agree. I wouldn't even do it slowly, just wrench their hands apart. Or why not leave them there overnight, see what happens when they get hungry, when they... Let's not think about it. Well, let's not even think about that, but just leave them there with a guard and just don't do it. But it is absurd because they're disrupting life for everybody else. What I wonder is how they got in, because it's a long time since I was in Parliament, but in those days you had to go in under the auspices of an MP. It was the MP who sponsored a group going around Parliament. So they must know. You can't just queue up and go in, I don't think, unless they've really changed the rules. And if they're allowing people just to queue up and go in, it's madness.
Well, I was there recently, actually. And I had to do all the ID
Someone
tests
would
and
have been
everything.
sponsoring
You couldn't just go in as you are. So the question is actually, how did they get in?
But, well, I think apparently they got in perfectly lawfully, as it were. Yeah. But, I mean, you're quite right, I think, Danny, you said. They're not public opinion. Public opinion are against them. They're a small, privileged minority, frankly. And they can afford to spend their time messing around in Parliament and pretending they're God. Yeah. They are not the majority, they are the minority. But if you start to criticise people like them, a lot of people are too scared to criticise them. That's one problem. The woke brigade are so fierce on social media, etc., that if you do start to...
Do you know, this is the great thing about GBNews. It's a platform for, I would say, the silent majority. Nigel Farage, I think, coined that expression, the silent majority. And I think the silent majority loathe their behaviour. Don't loathe them individually, but loathe and detest their behaviour. And what I said about a Marxist cult, I didn't manage to qualify that, because that guy, I think you refer to as the mustachioed idiot. Yeah, that guy said that he wants to renationalise the energy, and he objects to the shareholders. So that's Marxism. You know, that's socialism, that's Marxism, and it's intertwined with the, I think, cult-like ideology.